discuss about the management business process overview. I mean, what are the subcomponents of management accounting and cost centers, cost elements, activity types. Okay, so now we will try to create some of the master data in the system. This is the company code I have created. Our company code is IN10, chart of accounts IN10, fiscal year K variant as K4. Yeah, reminding all I have taken from the 0001. I have not created anyone. Just I copied what it is there in 0001. Okay, and I have also created the controlling area. Okay, this is the controlling area I have created. Okay, so cost centers active, order management, everything is active. I think you might already, some of the guys might have already created the controlling area and everything. But when you are working on a CO project, when you are trying to create a new controlling area, fiscal year here, right? So generally what happens, sometimes we will give fiscal year as like if you are doing implementation like 2024, or maybe you will give like 2021 or 2020, or sometimes you will give the 2024. This will create problems later on when if you are going for SCM or HCM, the human. What is this? No, it's called as success factors, right? So if they are going for a success factors implementation, then you will have a problem. Why the problem arise? Let's say you have created the controlling area from 2020, okay, but that company was started, let's say in 2000, okay. Let's say some employees are working in the company since 2000. When you are creating the employee master data, it will expect a cost center, okay, for the employee master data to link it. In that case, what happens? They cannot create their master data since this controlling area is not available in 2000. It's available from 2020. Then again, you have to extend this controlling area to previous years. I mean, it will not stop you to extend, but my suggestion would be try to create, whenever you are going for any implementation, try to create the controlling area from beginning. I mean, like 1900 or something, so that you will not have any problem in the future when the business is going for success factor implementation. And I have assigned this company code IN10 to this controlling area. Okay, and I have taken here, there are two options: controlling area same as company code, and cross company code cost accounting. Meaning, if you select this option, controlling area same as company code, you can assign only one company code to one controlling area. Okay. If you select the second one, cross company code cost accounting active. Okay. In this case, what happens? You can have one controlling area with multiple company codes, provided the chart of accounts and fiscal year variant of those company codes are same. And currency type. Currency, while using the second option, we should be very careful with the currency type as well, because you have different currency types here. For example, company code currency. If you use this first option, like here, controlling area same as company code currency, then probably you can use it as 10 as a company code currency. Okay. And 30. If you remember, in ECC, we used to have 20 also as a currency. Okay, but now it's not available anymore. In the controlling area currency, we used to have 20. Okay, now that is not available anymore. And this 30 group currency, it's better to use always 30 as a group currency. Okay, then again it depends. I mean, that group currency in system by default it will be USD. Okay, in some cases you may need it. You may need to change it to euro. Then you have to the currency setups in the server level. You have to change the 30 currency as euro. If you are working for any European-based company, then probably you have to create this currency as euro. Otherwise, I mean, if your corporate is US, then you have to make it as USD. It depends. I mean, what group currency they would like to have it. Okay. So if you define 30 here, so that generally, I mean, when you're going for material ledger implementation, also what happens, you will have 10 as a company code currency and 30 as group currency. Apart from 10 and 30, if I mean, business may want to use another valuation like profit center valuation or a group valuation. Okay. If they want to use group valuation, then you have to use 31 in material ledger. If they want to go for profit center valuation, they have to go to 32 or something. Okay, that we will discuss during material ledger configuration, the currency setup and everything. But as of now, I have taken controlling area currency as 10 and I defined it as USD. And also I have taken company code currency as USD as of now. Okay. Okay. So activity based costing is not active here. Okay. But it's part of S4 HANA. But in future, I don't know whether you might heard about it or not. SAP is coming up with another version called universal, another concept called universal parallel accounting, UPA. Provide one note to you in the UPA. SAP clearly mentioned what are all the components they are uh, going to miss in UPA and what are the benefits they are getting. And I'll probably find a note where they have clearly defined the scope. Okay, from FI to I would say even in SAP Help also you will get it in the universal parallel accounting. What are all the new changes from asset accounting to till COPA? Each and every module, sub-module, what are the changes they are bringing up, and what are the functionalities we are going to miss? As of now, I mean, in the initial version of UPA, at least some of the functionalities are missing. That is available. I will share it with you all probably tomorrow class. But yeah, it is available. But what SAP is suggesting, don't recommend clients to use activity-based costing. Okay, because they're not doing any kind of enhancements or improvements in the area of activity-based costing in S4 HANA. As of now, I mean, all the functions are available. If you want to use ABC costing, you can use it. Yeah, but as of now, I have not activated it. It's not required for me. Yeah, before creating cost center, I will show you one thing. Okay, UON. Like this is 0001. Okay, so this is the standard hierarchy. You might know about it already. I mean, we can have only one standard hierarchy in controlling area, one controlling area. Okay, and then probably you might know already, right? So now everyone is going for consolidations, right? So that's what in legacy they might have different controlling areas and different company codes. Okay, now some of the clients are going for again for the greenfield kind of implementations, because if you are using again different company codes and different controlling area, again it will be little bit challenging for the consolidation and group reporting and all, right? So for that purpose, nowadays, I mean, most of the clients are going for one controlling area with multiple company codes. Okay, so in that case, what happens? We will create the standard hierarchy at a controlling area level. In the standard hierarchy, if let's say we have some 15-20 company codes are there, for all the company codes, you will create here the top groups, right? For example, here create group lower level. For example, I have created SAP AG as the group, and under that, let's say we have company code ABC. Okay, under this, you can create one more, like so. For me, this is the group. So I will, yeah, in the group I enter, I've created company code also for me I enter, but generally, I mean, we will create like this. I mean, ABC, XYZ. In this again, they will create further grouping and whatever they need. All else, they may create this structure based on their business. For example, uh, let's say, I mean, in Tata itself, there are so many business units, right? I mean, Tata Power, Tata Insurance, and Steel, etc. So many, I mean, Tata Motors, all those, right? So they can create different business units. Likewise, also they can create, or else company code wise also they can create, so that, I mean, they can, from a consolidation purpose, they can see their overall cost at a group level. Okay, so you can create cost centers, and when create, I think you already know, I have created one cost center. So while creating the cost center, as I said earlier, this is the maximum limit is like 10 characteristics. In that, you know, first 4 characteristics I have taken as my company code, IN10, or else some companies, I mean, some follows the I mean, first 2 digits as uh, company code characteristics, and second one is like, see, every organization they follow some codings, like 1 is production, 2 is finance, 3 is for HR. Likewise, they define like their constitution, where they, you know, write all their rules. I mean, for master data, what rules we have to follow; for GL account naming, what rules we have to follow; for material master, what rules we have to follow. So every, I mean, big organizations, they have some rule book. As per the rule book, they will define their, I mean, they'll name their cost centers, GL accounts, and everything. So just here, I have taken this one, and PRD one as production one. I have created one cost center. Okay, so compared to ECC S4 HANA, there is no changes in the cost center master data. Okay, same cost transaction KS01 you can use, and also you can use a Fury app to create the cost center. Okay, standard hierarchy, we can create only one standard hierarchy, but parallelly you can create, if you want. I mean, why we need this standard hierarchy is, I mean, we need it. It's a requirement field from the technical perspective, and also it's like it tell you the whole organization structure of your company or your group or your, I mean, the project organization structures. Apart from these, you can create several alternative hierarchies. Okay, for reporting purpose. When you are executing the cost center report, okay, there you have an option to enter the cost center or the group or the main group or subgroup. Okay, so for the purpose, you can create n number of alternative groups, and some of the groups also you can use it in the configuration. So for that purpose also, we can create n number of groups, and those groups can be deleted and edited anytime. Okay, so that, I mean, there won't be any configuration changes are required. So for that purpose, we can create n number of groups as per the business requirement. Okay, so cost center groups you can create from here, Or else we have another transaction called controlling cost center accounting, master data, cost center, individual processing, cost center group. Here, from here also, we can create the cost center group. For example, I am creating IN10 underscore production PRD. Okay, this is the production cost center group I would like to create. Okay, production. Okay, for this, I would like to add one cost center. Okay, this is available here. Now again, let's go to the hierarchy. Okay, U1. Yeah, that group is not available here. Okay, I have created the production IN10 underscore PRD, but it is not available here. Okay, if I want, I think I can assign here. Close this. Okay, yeah, in the IN10 again, we can create subgroups like create group lower level. Okay, like production. Production we have already created, right? Let's say create finance. Okay, same level marketing. Let me try to create. Now I've created this cost center, so we can assign to this cost center also here. Yeah, now I have assigned the production cost center in the production group. Okay, this grouping also you can name it, because if you just create finance, then we don't know under which function it is. So probably before the group, you can again add the company code, 2 digits code or 4 digit codes before the production also. So I mean, before this group names also for the clear understanding. But when you are defining this group, uh, you have to discuss with the controllers, business controllers. So yeah, as per their wish, we need to define this, and we need to suggest them how it looks like. But they are aware of it, well aware of this, and it's very important for their reporting. Okay. From here also, you can create, for example, if you want to create one cost center, IN10 FIN fin. Okay. Okay. So Okay, I got created here, but I would like to move it to finance. So I've created one cost center in finance and one cost center in production. Okay, so these two cost centers, probably we can create few more later, but yeah, we can use this cost center for our testing purpose. Okay, or else let me create one more in the production itself. Copy. Whenever, I mean, it's quite common to change the validity date of the cost center. Okay, what happens? Let's say I have created the cost center from beginning of the year. Okay, let's say when you are doing your data migration, open POs, for example. Okay, you are migrating your open POs or some other any GL balances or something from the previous year. Okay, in that case, what happens? If you this cost center is valid from 1/1/2024, but you are uploading your, let's say, I mean, GL data. Most of the clients, they may ask to upload, especially this costs balance. No one is asked, but some of the clients will ask. Or else, I mean, PO is quite common. Okay, they will take open POs from last 10 years also. They will upload into the system, new system. Okay, in that case, what happened? Let's say the PO is created in 2022, but your cost center is it's from 2024. In that case, it will not allow. I mean, PO upload migration cockpit will fail, and it cannot host. I mean, upload the PO as the cost center is never available, not available. Then generally, what we will do, we can extend this period from here. Set analysis frame from here. You can assign here, and also we can assign from KS01 transaction code, KS02. From here also you can. Oh, what happened? Cost center is locked by. Okay, this. Or else uh, okay, from here also you can assign. There is an analysis period. I mean, if you go to the change mode, this analysis period will come here also. From here also you can change it, but the recommended way is to you come here, do it from here, so that what happens if you change from here in the master data table, it will create multiple entries. It will show two cost centers. Okay, whenever you are trying to select that cost center in any of your postings, then it will show two cost centers in the selection. Okay, with the same name. So again, user will get confused. Why? I mean, there are two cost centers because the validity dates are different for those two cost centers. So always better idea is to change the date from here so that it will not create multiple entries in your database table. Okay. I mean, it will not create any problems during, I mean, the actual postings to this particular cost center in the selections. Okay. Yeah. For cost centers, I think, I mean, as we discussed, right, for a load, you can use that LTMC, or else if you want, you can create LSNW, but it's provided, it's whether we need to check, I mean, at a project management level, what approach they're following for master data migration. Okay. Any doubts so far for the cost center master data?
No, no.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much simple. Now let's go to cost element. Okay. If you see here, earlier in ECC, if you have in front of ECC system, you can check in cost element account. If you go here, you will have multiple transaction codes like KA01, KA02, JA3, everything. But now no more KA01, KA02, KA06. Okay. It's simply FS00. So whenever you want to create a cost element, directly it will take through your FS00. Okay. So settings. Okay. Now, so I have created one cost element. Okay. So here, I mean, the new change in a earlier GL account, these options are not available. Like whether it is primary cost, revenue cost, this aggregation was not there. This is the new step in S4 where you can. We have only account group earlier, but this GL tech account type also came now. You have to select whether it is balance sheet account, okay, or secondary cost, primary cost, or non-operating or non-operating expense or income. So I have taken as a primary cost or revenue. Here account groups. This is our choice. You can create your own groups as per the business requirement. I have created 4 groups: assets, rather 5, expenses, liabilities, revenues, and secondary costs. Okay, I've created here. I have selected expenses group. Okay, I have taken this 50001 as a salaries. Controlling data. If you go here, so here you will assign the cost element category. In ECC, you won't see this screen. I mean, we have to create them separately. Probably you will get edit cost element, something, one tab we used to have here in ECC. If you click there, and it will take through you the cost element creation screen. But now it's not available anymore. Five, zero, 2. For example, I'm selecting primary cost element, expenses. For example, different. If you see here, this is mandatory field. So when you are creating your GL account itself, you have to enter the cost element category. Okay. In the upload template, we have that option. I mean, whether it is cost element or not, based on your account type, you have to select that. Okay, field status group G04 cost accounts. Okay, and another challenge in GL account. See, for GL account, there is no time bound. That means there is no validity period. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. If you create this GL account, for example, Control C. If I go to the master data, this is 16. So CSK. So another problem is like for cost elements, we have a validity period, but whereas for GL accounts, there is no validity periods. Okay. If you see here, the validity, I mean, what is this? Settings, user parameters, label. This is created on, but CSKB. Let me go to CSKB. See here, if you see, okay, now it is valid from. Yeah, now I mean, looks like in the this is the latest version. Here they have, I mean, did the change. So earlier, what happens, you know, whenever I create, at least in 2022 till 2022, when we create a cost element, system used to take validity date as from the like start of the year. Okay. Let's say in 2024 or maybe today's date, the validity from, and validity 2 is like 99, but this validity from it used to take from the start of the period or maybe the creation date. Then when you again when you are trying to post the previous years or previous months, let's say you have created this month, starting from this month, or maybe you have created the GL account today. If I want to use something in the, let's say we are in May, right? You have created some GL account in May, but I would like to do the cost center planning and everything from the beginning of the year. Okay. In that case, we used to have a problem. This GL account is not available in, I mean, cost element is not available in controlling area. So for that, SAP has suggested a note to extend the dates, but I think it's not required anymore. Looks like they have adjusted the date by default to your controlling area date. Yeah, it's a good thing. Okay, this is close. Okay, so likewise, we can create the cost elements here only. I mean, from this screen itself. Okay. Now we will try to create one secondary cost element also. I created yesterday this one. Let's create one. 943. So secondary cost elements, I mean, it's again depends upon your view and I mean, sometimes, there will be controllers. Controllers also suggest the naming convention from, I mean, for the secondary cost elements. But my suggestion would be like use a number, unique number, which is not part of any of these expenses, revenue, or assets, liabilities, all those. Let's say you have consumed from 1 to 6. Take series 7 as cost element for the secondary cost elements number. If you consume all the numbers till 7, then take it 8 or else take 9. Take a unique series which is not used for any other category, so that it will be useful for us when we are selecting something, like when you are creating the costing sheet or when you are creating assessment cycles. It will be easy for us to understand, okay, whether this cost element is secondary or primary or something else. So yeah, likewise you can take 6, 9, or any number you can take for that matter, but I prefer always like 9 or any uh, number which is not being used in other cases. So 9, and the second would be take the category of the cost element, because in secondary cost element we have different categories as we discussed yesterday, like 41, 42, 43, 31, etc. Try to mention this number, I mean the category is somewhere in this uh, account, whether it is starting in the starting. Some guys, what they will do, 9, I mean, some people will use 10-digit code. Okay, in that case also they have some kind of naming, like they may use it for overheads. They will have different numbers, Z, B. Again, as per the rule book, they will create their master data. But time being, what we will do, let's say 9 is the secondary cost element, 43 is the category. Okay, and 100 I have taken for machinery. Let's say 200, I will take it. 943, 200. Okay, secondary cost. Here you have to select this secondary cost, and you have to select this one. And second one, I will use test labor or personnel. Control data. Here you need to mention the category again. 43 is for internal activity allocation. This 43 category, as we discussed yesterday, right? So we use it for activity types creation. For activity type, we need to use 43 category. For activity type, also select record quantity. Here also cost accounts. Okay. So this is the change in S4. Like as we discussed yesterday, also we discussed the same thing. Uh, the cost elements now we need to create from the GL account itself. I mean, there is no separate screen for creating cost elements. By making this change, the FI and CO are integrated, so there won't be any reconciliation. Every time it's like online reconciliation, so we no need to calculate any reconciliation. I mean, or we don't need to run any reconciliation programs or so and so forth. So whenever you post anything, like if you post in some general JV in finance, it will get updated to CO. At the same time, if you post something in CO, it will also update to FI. Okay. Now cost element, we also need to create cost element groups, right? So groups, there is no change. Again, you can go to controlling, cost element accounting, master data, cost element group, KAH1. So here you can create, for example, IN10 underscore total cost. Okay. Okay. So here, I mean, you can create the group, what kind of, I mean, how they want to look, because these groups are again useful for reporting purpose and also some of the configuration purpose. So you can create, say, not lower level, for example, primary cost. Okay, primary cost. Okay, same level. Under primary cost, you have like material consumptions, everything you can create. For example, if you need lower level, material cost. Okay. Same
What is
level.
the difference between same level, lower level options, Lakshman?
Yeah, I mean, this is the highest node in the total cost. And again, in that, you have primary cost, secondary cost, right?
Okay.
Okay, so you can create like here primary. I will create one more same level here, like secondary. Okay, let me first complete this one. Materials and manufacturing cost. Okay, in any organization, you will have different kind of costs, right? So total cost is the main group. Under the subgroup, you may have like primary and also you have secondary cost. Same level like secondary. or else, I mean, here you can define your the cost element group as per the business requirement, or also sometimes, we need to create cost element group some configuration purpose also, or else, um, yeah, configuration purpose, or else for reporting purpose also. Sometimes we may need to execute a report, and you want to see the cost of the report. I mean, particular cost elements, cost only you want to see. In that case, you can create a group, or you can pick it some group from here, and you can use this group for reporting purpose. Same level, I mean, here it is lower level, means in this level you can have multiple further levels. Okay, this these are two levels are at same level, like primary and secondary division. And under primary, I have material cost, under I have manufacturing cost, and secondary cost I can have some kind of indirect overheads, or some kind of assessment cost, etc. So you can assign those cost elements here. Or else, if you don't want, this secondary primary bifurcation, simply you can create under total cost, you can create multiple divisions like materials, manufacturing cost, assessments cost, okay, depreciation, salaries, etc. Because in salaries also you will have different kind of GL accounts, right? And depreciation also, you will have multiple GL accounts for depreciation. And repairs and maintenance, under repairs and maintenance also, you will have different GL accounts. So likewise, what are the GL account types accounts you are using? All the accounts you will create as a group, so that when you are executing any report, you can refer that group. Okay. For the reporting also, in the drill down report, you will get that reports, I mean the details in the tree manner. Okay. In this group, there is no change. Only thing is in the cost element creation, but group, I mean in S4, ECC, S4, both are same. Okay. I mean, when you select the category, right? So if you select the category here, for example, if you select primary cost or revenue, then it will show you, for example, here I have selected primary cost or revenue. Then if I go here, it will show you the cost element categories which are belongs to the primary ones. We have primary cost and secondary cost, right? So if you see here, primary, we have different cost elements: 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 4, 11, 12, and 22. These are the primary cost elements. Okay. We will use these cost elements for different purposes. For example, 0, 1 is expense, 11 is revenue, 12 is sales deductions. Some accruals also, you can use some of the cost elements. And this is for external settlement. This will be used in the internal order. Okay, where you want to do not only internal order, any settlement. If you want to use an external settlement, then you will use this one. But if you select the secondary cost elements, see here it will show the cost element categories belongs to secondary. Okay, here the category is second, I mean the account type is secondary. Okay, so it will disclose only secondary related. You know, in S4 ECC, the biggest challenge is like reconciliation between FI and CO, especially in the area of profitability reporting. I mean the P&L and everything, right? So where we used to have what we used to have. I mean, most of the clients used to use the costing based COPA, right?
Yes.
So because of that, it's very difficult to compare your revenue or cost or with your FI books. Okay, because in costing based COPA you use the value fields. In our FI we use GL accounts.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
then it's not possible to compare apple to apple, right? So there we are using a different attributes, and here it is a different attribute. Then it's always a tough challenge for the business. So that's what I mean. SAP, I mean, came up with a solution like they're not going to use costing based COPA anymore. I mean, the solution is available in the system. It's up to you whether you want to use it, but they made accounting profitability analysis mandatory. That means whatever you do in your FI, right, by default, it will update to your COPA or your finance automatically. And in S4 also, by doing that, everything, I mean, whatever you post to your GL account, it will update to CO.
That is
Right?
fine because we are talking about the GL account, right? But my question towards to this GL account type, what is the additional feature it is giving me here?
But I mean, if you don't define it, then how you will define? I mean, let's say it's not available here.
No,
It's good. It's
if
good,
we
right? I mean, you can bifurcate your accounts. I mean, the accounts also in by selecting this, you will get to know, right, what kind of account it is, whether it is balance sheet. Otherwise, I mean, it's very difficult. It's not there. Simply, let's assume you have here the group only there. Based on that group only, you will come to know. But if you not selected here, but this screen also will get affected, right? I mean, it has to disclose all the cost element categories and everything. And for whether it is, I mean, for each and every account, it has to disclose everything, right? So now, for example, if you select balance sheet here, one second, yeah, balance sheet, we will create one account. Okay, balance sheet accounting you have created, like assets. So this screen itself, it's disappear. Otherwise, what happens? I mean, if you create this again, it has to disclose the whole thing again here, right?
yeah, whole thing it will
Yeah, I
create
mean,
in ECC.
to be honest,
We are happy.
technical. I mean, there could be some technical challenges as well while defining the screens and everything, right? I mean, for us, it's showing the simple screen, but from their perspective, there could be some technical challenges also could be there. But as a functional wise, I mean, while defining, at least for us, it's easy. Like whether it is this account, that's what I know. But there could be some technical challenges as well in the background while defining these screens. Okay, let me create one more cost element for setup here. 43,300. Okay, so we have created 3 cost elements with category 43. These 3 cost elements, we use it for okay, expenses. Let me create few more cost elements so that we can use them for planning directly. Then next I will try to do the planning, how we will do the planning in controlling. So let me copy some of the accounts. Okay, so I've created a couple of cost elements like salaries, rent, power, fuel, gas, environmental cost, traveling, depreciation, and maintenance. Okay. So secondary costs, I have created 3 cost elements like machine cost, labor, personnel. I have created one as cash as a asset. Okay. Now, before going to planning, we will try to create this activity type master, or because planning there are 2 options I would like to tell you. So I'm just thinking which one. Let's go. Okay, for now let's go with normal planning. Then we will discuss later with the activity type. Okay. Okay. So before going to the topic, any other questions? Okay, I will take it as no. Then, okay. So as we discussed yesterday, business will do planning, okay, in the cost center accounting. I mean, in the cost center, they do yearly planning, okay. Start of the year, they will do some planning for all the primary cost, okay, so that they can compare their actuals month on month or maybe quarterly or yearly, and they can adjust their forecast planning or forecasting um, as per the actuals. I mean, if the actuals are more or less, then they will compare. I mean, in the area of rent or power or whatever it may be, the cost is increased. Then they will see the reasons for that, why it got increased, and accordingly adjust their budgets. Okay, so some people, planning, just they do planning, uh, you know, not normal planning, forecasted planning they do, and some businesses also do planning for keeping mind in the production, production related cost only they do planning. Okay, when I say production related cost, we have these three cost elements, right? So these are the secondary cost elements, and these, let's say, I mean, time being, these are also activity types, okay, in the production product costing. So they will do planning against um, these activity types also. Okay, so meaning with reference to this activity type and this cost element, they do a planning. Okay, or else they'll do. I mean, that's what there are two kind of planning. One is dependent planning. Another one is independent planning. Meaning, independent planning means I will do my planning all primary cost. Okay, and I will do planning for these activity types hours. I mean, the hours, right? I mean, machine hours, labor hours, setup hours in a particular year or a month for this activity type. That is, I will do my planning separately. Like I will plan my hours here, or else I would say capacity here. I will plan my cost here. Okay, all these primary cost elements. Then I will calculate the rate. Okay, but for that we need to build a relationship between for machine cost, for the machine activity type, what are all the cost elements we need to use. For example, in yesterday's example, we have discussed it, right? For machine hour, I mean, for machine cost, we calculate, I mean, generally we consider depreciation and maintenance cost for the machine, or else, I mean, even fuel also we can consider, or power also you can consider for machine activity type. Okay, labor, salaries, labor or personal. Generally, salaries we will consider for labor. Setup, we can consider all of the cost elements or some of the cost elements also you consider, because setup includes everything. You can consider some portion of salaries for setup and some portion of powers, everything for the setup activity. Okay, so likewise we need to build a relationship for what activity type we use and labor what we use, etc. Okay, so first we will try to do the independent planning. Okay, now we have a transaction code called KP06 to do the planning. Okay, so in ECC also we have the same thing. We have to select version here. Okay, period 1, period 12, 2024. See here, by default it's taking, this group, but here you can mention the cost center, or you can group, for example, I will plan the cost for the finance cost center. Okay. Here, if you see here, it is asking activity type also. So I told, right, I mean, there are two kind of planning possibilities are available. Cost center and activity type cost element together, we can do the planning, or else we will do cost center and cost element. Let's say, I mean, first we will do this one, later we will. Okay. If you see here, plan fixed cost. Okay. The variable cost, column is disabled. Sorry, variable cost, yeah. Because if you select activity type, then this also will be available. I mean, so that you can plan both variable and fixed cost. Okay, since we are not selected, the variable is by default, it's grayed out. So you can do only fixed cost planning here. For example, we will do some amounts here, like 10,000, 9,000, 6,000, it is 11,000. So here, distribution, because I have selected 1 to 12 periods. Okay, then I'm saying system equally distribute to all the periods. Select one. Okay. If I enter this one, see, for all periods, system is distributing this salaries to like 833 euros everywhere. Somewhere it is registered the decimal notation like 33, 34. But yeah, it is equally distributing everywhere. Let's see whether it is okay. Change data has been posted. Okay, now we have done the planning, primary cost planning for the cost center finance. Let's see the report. Okay, if you see here, the whole cost is posted in the plan cost. The actual cost is still blank in finance cost center. Okay, you have 55,000 USD as the cost. It will show the plan cost. When you post your actuals, it will show your actual cost here, and it will show the variance and variance percentage in the cost centers report. Okay. So while executing the report, I'm telling you, right? So either you can enter the cost center group or else value. You can restrict the parameters here. Here also you can enter the cost element group or cost element value. If you don't enter anything, it will disclose everything. Let's say I will select IN10 as a group. See, it's bringing the IN10 SAP AG finance. If you have some cost in the production cost center, it will bring the cost to production cost center as well. Okay, here you will have the production cost center node. I mean the production cost center group. Under the production cost center, you see the production cost center information. So you will have the drill down option. I mean, you can see the total cost finance wise. In finance, if you have multiple cost centers, you can see that the whole cost of the cost center. In production wise, you can see the cost here. KP26 and KP KP06 and KP26. In KP26, we will enter the rates, and KP06, we will enter the cost.
Okay.
In once we create this one, no, we can able to enter. I mean, see the KP26 also. M100. Okay, let's say this is machine. Machine activity unit, we keep it as hour. Cost center categories, you can enter store. Activity type, manual entry, manual allocation. Here we need to assign the cost element. For example, we have created the machine cost, right? Okay, so here the most important thing is the activity unit. You have to select, I mean, either hour or minute, okay? But while defining the activity types, discuss with the PP consultants, because in work center, they will define again the activity unit. Sometimes what they will do, they maintains in minutes, and if you do in hours, I mean, in general, there won't be any problem, but sometimes what happens while doing the conversions, right? I mean, hours to minutes conversion, because let's say they in decimals also sometimes they will maintain. In that case, there will be some decimal deviations will be there in the cost calculations. So in order to mitigate those kind of small decimal deviations, better to maintain activity unit with reference. I mean, what activity unit they are maintaining. Okay, if they maintain PC, we also maintain PC. Okay, if they maintain KG, we also maintain KG. But I mean, these activity types generally we will be either hours or minutes, because it's time, right? But some of the activities they will create with different unit of measures. Same measures we need to maintain here. Okay, so if they maintain hours, we also need to maintain hours. If they maintain minutes, we need to maintain minutes. That would be easy while doing the calculations and everything. Otherwise, there will be some small decimal deviations will be there, and it's very difficult later on. Okay. M100. Second one. Yeah. Okay. P100. This is labor or personal. Let's name it as personal. Okay, hours. Category is this one. Here we have to assign the cost element. Here also. Okay. Setup 100. Okay, now if I enter the cost element, I mean the activity type here, for example, machine. Okay, so for machine, what I will do, I would like to plan. I mean, as we discussed earlier, right? So let's say for machine activity rate, we are using, I mean, we will use depreciation and maintenance cost, let's, for example. So can machine depreciation and maintenance. Okay. So what I have selected here. Well, let me select one cost center also, production related one. Okay. Now, if you see here, for the whole year, I am doing production for the production cost center. Okay. And for the activity type machine, I am planning depreciation and maintenance cost. Okay. Errors occur during testing of field accounted activity. Okay. So before this, doing this planning, we need to enter activity hours first in the KP26. Then only it will allow you to do planning for the activity type. So for example, if you go to KP26, okay, onto this is the production area. So if you see here, plan activity, here you have fixed price and variable price. Okay. And the cost element also came here from the assignment, and this is the pricing unit. So here you have two options for activity type. I mean, yesterday also we discussed, right? So for the activity types, you can directly enter the rate per hour. For example, I will enter here $10 per hour. Okay, this is one option. If you want to maintain variable price also, like my fixed price is $10 and variable price is $10. I mean $5. You can maintain directly price here. Some of the clients will follow this approach. They don't want to calculate. I mean, they don't want to do the planning and calculate the rate in the system. Rather, they will do some offline Excel calculations. Okay. Okay. Because they know, I mean, what is their depreciation, maintenance, and everything. What is their capacity? It's very easy for them to calculate outside system, and they will arrive the rates like, okay, my machine hour rate per hour, if this machine runs for hour, $10, that is a fixed price. This fixed price consists of, for example, depreciation or whatever, repairs, maintenance, some variable prices like electricity and all. They calculate offline calculations, then they will enter the price here. Okay, directly they will enter the price, so that they no need of primary cost at the production cost center level. This price they can use it for in the product costing for the cost calculations and everything. This is one option. Okay, and simple option. Okay, otherwise what they will do, they will enter the capacity here. I mean, capacity, when I say this, not this capacity, generally we will not use this capacity, this plan activity quantity. Here we will enter, for example, this machine will run in a particular year like 3,000 hours, or maybe 3,600 hours in the year, or maybe 36,000. Let's keep less number. Okay. Okay. What I have done in this machine will work 3,600 hours in a particular period. I mean, now we will distribute. So each month it will work like 300 hours in a month. This machine will work. I mean, 300 hours in the month it will work. Likewise, we will enter the machine quantity here. Okay. Now, if you go here, yeah, if you see here, this plan variable cost is available now. Okay. So here, what it will give you for this production cost center. Okay. For the activity type machine. Okay. I am going to use these two cost elements. Okay. One is what? Depreciation and maintenance. Okay. Here I have an option. Let's say depreciation and maintenance, I will maintain fixed cost. Okay. Yesterday somebody asked me also, right? So let me select one more thing here. Depreciation maintenance. Okay. I will create one simple group. Okay. Machine cost. Do we have that already or no? KAH1. I will create a cost element group like machine. Okay, machine cost. Cost element. Depreciation. Maintenance. Now, fuel also I would look, power, let's say power also I would like to use in the machine cost. I would like to include power. So here instead of this cost elements, what I will give, cost element group. Okay, if I see here, now you can plan your depreciation and maintenance cost as a fixed cost here. Okay, like this is 10,000. Let's say this make 12,000, and this is 9,000. One. Okay, whereas I would like to maintain my fuel. Okay, I mean the electricity as variable cost. For example, here I will maintain 6,000 USD. Okay. Okay. Now, if you go to the cost center report again, let me add to this favorites. Okay. Earlier I told you, right? I mean, if you select the group, system will disclose the report in a structured manner. Like at the AZ, I mean, group level, you can see the total cost as 82,000 euros. I mean, dollars. This is the finance cost. If you click on here, it will show the total finance cost. In the production cost, it will show you like this 27,000. So if you see here, depreciation, maintenance, power we have planned for the production cost center, that is 6,000, 12,000, 9,000. But here you will not see whether it is variable or fixed. Okay, you will see the total cost. We don't have, that whether it is fixed or variable, we will not see here. Okay. You only see in the product costing or else in the KP06. There you can see, but here you cannot see whether it is fixed cost in this report at least. I mean, the cost center report, you cannot see whether it's fixed cost and variable cost, but some other reports you may get it. But when you calculate the rate, okay, now what we have done for the production cost center. Okay, before that, are you following or still you have some doubts or questions on this part? I mean, till now what we have done in the planning. Okay, now you have here the cost. So now what we have done the planning for the cost center, production cost center with reference to activity type. First, we have done the activity plan. I mean, quantity planning means the machine capacity. I mean, the in the I mean, the production people and the business people, right? They always say they say capacity, but don't get confused with the capacity in the here. The capacity also one more field. Here also we have capacity, right? Don't confuse with the capacity. When you say capacity, this they call it as a capacity. When you are going for business discussions with the controllers and the production people, they call this time as capacity. That means the machine capacity during a month, how many hours it can run. Okay, that they call it as capacity. So that capacity we will enter here. It is nothing but machine hours per month or per year. Okay, so here we have entered the machine hours in the KP26 transaction. In the KP06 transaction, we have entered the plan primary cost with reference to cost center, activity type, and cost element. Okay, so now we have plan cost and we have plan quantity. Okay, in the report itself, you can see, for example, here you have the plan cost, and also you have the plan capacity here. I mean, the plan activity quantity is 3,600. Okay. Now, when you calculate your activity rate, what happens? This 27,000 will be divided by 3,600. Okay. And you will get the per hour rate. Okay. Now we will do the transaction. Okay. To calculate the rate, the transaction code is KSPI. Same as ECC, no change. Okay. Till this process at least. Cost center, all cost centers. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, or else we will take the production cost center group. Why to take all ones? So production. Okay, if you see here, so 3,600. $27,000 and 3,600, right? 3,600 divided by 3,600. So $7.5 per hour. Okay. So here 7,500 it came. That means it is for 1,000 units. Okay. If you consider, I mean, the 7,500 divided by 1,000 units, it's $7.5. It's coming correct, right? So it comes to 7.5. Or else let me make a change. No. Settings. Here, not optimized. Save. Yeah. If you see here, it came for price unit as 1. Okay. So generally, business, they'll maintain sometimes the price unit as 1,000. Okay. So some activity types really are in decimals. Okay, $0.5 or I mean 0.5 cents or 0.6 cents or 0.2 cents, something like that. In that case, what happens? They will maintain the rate for 1,000 quantity, so that it will give you the correct figure. So in the cost calculations and everything, it will give you the right pictures. So it's better. I mean, it depends upon what kind of rates you have, and your rates are if really small, then it's better to maintain in the unit is 1,000. Okay. So here 7,000, 7.5 is the total rate. In that fixed price is 5.83. Here it's not showing the variable. Now we will go to the variable portion. Then we will see choose layout or change layout. Express variable price. See. So you have 5.83 as your fixed price. Variable price is 1.67. Okay. Now let's go to KP26 again. Are we open somewhere? Yeah. Okay. Here. So if you see here, the price is updated now. Variable price as 1.67, fixed price as 5.83 per hour. Okay. So we have maintained the price as, I mean, we have maintained the plan quantity here. Okay. We have maintained the plan cost in another screen called KP06 with the combination of cost center, activity type, and cost element. Then we calculated the rate, fixed price and variable price, 1.67, 5.83. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there is no change in whether is. I mean, if you follow the KP06 and KP26, same transaction codes we are going to use in ECC and also in S4 HANA. I mean, there is no change in the transaction codes, but here I have only one cost center and one cost element, so I did manually this planning. But in real time, we will have multiple cost elements, multiple activity type, and multiple cost centers, right? So in that case, we need some kind of mechanism to upload the data, right? So in ECC, what we used to do generally, we have planning templates. I mean, you can create your own planning layouts, okay? Like for primary cost planning, Excel templates we have to create and you have to upload. For example, KP06, okay, settings, Excel planning, upload. Okay, you have an option to upload the Excel planning, but before that, you have to create the Excel. I mean, we have to do some configuration in the system, and then you have to do the upload file. I mean, you have to download that upload file, and again, you have to upload it here. Okay. Now, otherwise, another option is you have to go for a BDC to upload these files. I mean, this kind of data. Now in S4, what happens? Let me go to S4, where it is. So what I would like to show here, like, we have a Fury app called import plan financial data. Okay. So that is the new functionality in S4. By using that Fury app, you can do all kind of plannings. You can do your cost center planning. You can do your profit center planning, your activity types planning, all kind of plannings we can do by using this app. We no need to create any templates. Just there is a already available template is there. We have to download that template and you have to add what are the fields you required. I mean, there are technical fields. By default, it will gives you, but also in the SAP help portal, if you go to the help portal with reference to this Fury app, they mentioned, I mean, all the field names which you can utilize. Yeah, this one, import financial plan data. Okay. So here, this is the app, import financial plan data. Okay. Here you have download template. Okay. So if you click here, so it is asking what type of planning you want to do, like cost center planning, project planning, profit center, functional area, market segment, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Every planning, all the planning you can do using this app. It has so many functionalities. Okay. Let's go with the cost center file. But only the problem is with this, not a problem, but it's an additional steps. I mean, some of the additional steps we have to do. Template for cost center. No, it came incorrect actually. So everything got in one single column, but it has to disclose. See, these are the fields like category, general ledger, fiscal year, posting period, company code, cost center, account number, amount in global currency, global currency. So these all should be in different columns, but I don't know why it's came in one single column. Let me. Someone can also try from your system because it has to disclose, I mean, in different columns, the data. No, still it is coming in single. Can somebody try if it's possible? I mean, whether it is downloading in your separate files or I don't know why it's.
Lakshman, should I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because I'm using for the first time.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So where I can go and search for this?
Yeah, in the search option, you enter already in the search, but yeah, there you type import financial plan data. No, the app has to. No, when you type it, the app should disclose here. I don't know, for you it's
Okay.
coming differently. Yeah, import and give space. No, not there. Got it. Hold on. Close that.
Okay.
Remove there.
Should I?
Yeah, correct there.
Okay.
Yeah, import space fin. Yeah. Yeah. Download template. Yeah. Don't select anything there. Semicolon. No, not quite.
Okay. Not required. Okay.
Yeah, just select cost center planning. Yeah. Yeah. For you also coming same, or it's for you it's coming in different
Yeah. Different columns.
columns, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It might be problem with my systems. Something, I mean, with my Excel. Yeah. Okay. So now if you see here, you have planning category. Okay. General ledger. Okay. So here in this template, you have to fill all the data. For example, planning category, you can create a plan category, or else we have already standard categories called PLN. Okay, it's a standard category. You can enter PLN and general ledger fiscal year. Like this is the fiscal year 2024 period. Okay, but here we cannot upload, like, for 12 periods, right? You have to enter 12 lines, not like the whole period data you can enter here. This is one disadvantage. Like in our case, like just we enter the 12 years period, like 12,000, it divided to all 12 periods. But here you have to enter 12 lines for 12 period, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12. All the 12 periods you have to enter the data. Okay, and the company code, cost center. This is the account number, amount in global currency. What is the currency? Now we have only global currency. I mean, if you want to upload this in local currency, then you have to add, in place of KSL, you have to add HSL and also the currency field. But this data will be stored in ACDOCA P. There is a separate table called ACDOCA P. In the table, you have to enter. I mean, this data will store. Okay. Apart from that, if you want to add this activity types and others also, we need to find the field, exact field name for that activity type, and you have to add here in the column. I mean, in Excel file, simply you can add, for example, activity type L star. Okay, you can add L star in the column I and its description, and you can fill all the data. You can save it. Okay, and you have an upload function, right? A browse option is there. From there, you can browse the file and you can upload. This data will be stored in AC Docker P table. Okay. But again, to transfer the data from AC Docker P to ECC, I mean S4 tables, like we have a COEP, COSS, some costing tables are there. To transfer the data from AC Docker P to those tables, we need to run a program. SAP has given some standard programs. That program we need to run so that the synchronization, data synchronization will happen between the AC Docker P and the ECC, another ECC table, I mean S4 tables, so that you can calculate the rates. If you upload the data in this template, with this template, you cannot calculate the rates. I mean, activity rates, just now we calculated, right? We cannot calculate the dates directly. Again, you have to transfer the data from AC Docker P table to that ECC tables like COEP, COSS, where the cost data will be stored. The data has to be passed to there. Then you have to run the activity rates.